The car market is a cyclical one, with prices rising and falling over time. In the United States, car prices have been on a tear in recent years, but there are signs that the trend may be starting to cool off. Witness the perfect storm brewing, where economic downturns collide with technological disruption, and the once mighty giants of the auto industry stumble and falter. The auto market is a bellwether for the global economy. It is a major driver of economic growth, and its performance can have a significant impact on other industries. When the auto market is doing well, it can lead to increased demand for other goods and services, such as fuel, insurance, and financing. However, when the auto market is struggling, it can have a ripple effect on other industries, leading to job losses and economic slowdowns. The rising cost of living is also putting a strain on consumer wallets. This is making it more difficult for people to afford new cars, even if they can find one. The combination of these factors has created a perfect storm for the auto market. Sales are down, prices are up, and there is no end in sight. The average price of a new car in the United States has increased by more than 30% in the past decade. This is due to a number of factors, including the rising cost of materials, the increasing popularity of luxury vehicles, and the chip shortage. But now, the average price of a new car in the United States is now over $40,000. This is a significant increase from just a few years ago, and it is putting a strain on many consumers' budgets. According to a recent study by Kelley Blue Book, the average price of a new car in the United States is expected to reach $45,000 by 2025. However, the study also found that prices could start to fall after that point, as the chip shortage eases and more electric vehicles enter the market. UBS, a global investment bank, believes that car prices are likely to fall in the coming years. They have cited a number of factors for this prediction. Here are the reasons. The chip shortage is easing. The chip shortage was a major factor in the recent surge in car prices. As the shortage eases, automakers will be able to produce more cars, which will help to bring down prices. The used car market is also starting to cool off, as people start to sell their cars as the economy improves. With more cars on the market, prices will come down. As interest rates rise, it will become more expensive to borrow money to buy a car. This will also put downward pressure on prices. Electric vehicles are becoming more popular, and they're typically less expensive than gasoline-powered cars. This will also help drive down the overall price of cars. These services are making it easier for people to get around without owning a car, which could lead to a decrease in demand for cars. Self-driving cars could eventually make it possible to share cars even more efficiently, which could further reduce demand and drive down prices. Americans are some of the biggest spenders in the world. In fact, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American household spends over $60,000 per year. But do they spend a lot on buying cars? On average, Americans spend about 30% of their income on housing, including rent or mortgage payments, utilities, and property taxes. The next biggest expense is transportation. Americans spend about 13% of their income on transportation, including car payments, insurance, gas, and public transportation. So here we go. Of course, it's impossible to say for sure what will happen to car prices in the future. However, the factors cited by UBS suggest that prices are likely to fall in the coming years. In a research note published in January 2023, UBS analysts said that they expected global car prices to fall by an average of 5% in 2023 and 2024. They said that the chip shortage would continue to ease in 2023, which would allow automakers to produce more cars. This would help to increase supply and drive down prices. If these many problems are there must be a pack of car manufacturers who are facing the worst nightmare of their business. Who are they? Some of the car manufacturers that are facing the most challenges include General Motors. GM has been hit hard by the chip shortage, which has forced it to cut production and delay the launch of new models. The company has also been struggling with rising inflation, which is driving up the cost of materials and logistics. Ford. Ford is facing similar challenges to GM, and it has also been hit by the war in Ukraine, which has disrupted its supply chain. The company has said that it expects to lose $1 billion in profits in the first quarter of 2023 due to these challenges. Stellantis. Stellantis is the world's fourth largest automaker, and it is facing a number of challenges, including the chip shortage, rising inflation, and the war in Ukraine. The company has said that it expects to lose €2 billion in profits in the first quarter of 2023 due to these challenges. Volkswagen. Volkswagen is the world's largest automaker, and it is also facing a number of challenges, including the chip shortages, rising inflation, and the war in Ukraine. The company has said that it expects to lose €3 billion in profits in the first quarter of 2023 due to these challenges. The main question is, do the common people in America prefer owning a car? The heavy traffic and hectic lives might have made them dependent on taxi services or other public transport ways. However, for most people in the USA, the benefit of owning a car outweighs the drawbacks. Cars offer freedom, flexibility, and status. They are also often seen as a necessity in many parts of the country, but it is also relevant to note that the popularity of cars in the USA is declining. American drivers are also preferring used cars nowadays. According to a recent study by Edmunds, a car-buying website, 69% of Americans would consider buying a used car for their next vehicle purchase. This is significantly higher than the global average of 56%. There are a few reasons why Americans prefer used cars. First, used cars are typically more affordable than new cars. This is especially true in the current market, where the new car prices are at an all-time high. Second, used cars are often in good condition. Many used cars are only a few years old, and they have been well maintained by their previous owners. This means that you can get a reliable car without having to pay the high price of a new car. Third, used cars offer more variety. There are many different makes and models of used cars available, so you can find a car that fits your needs and budget. Will you buy a small first-hand car or a bigger second-hand car for the same price? We know many other factors like years of usage, condition of the car, and many other things matter. But if everything is fine and a mechanic has approved it, then why not own a bigger wagon? Of course, there are also some drawbacks to buying a used car. First, you may not know the full history of the car. This is why it's important to have a used car inspected by a mechanic before you buy it. Second, used cars may not come with a warranty. This means that you will be responsible for any repairs that are needed. Clark Howard is a consumer advocate and money expert who has been giving advice on cars and the automotive industry for many years. See what he has said about the current automotive industry scenario. The auto industry's been on an ugly roller coaster ride. The market's been up and down, and it's hard to say where it's headed next. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be a bumpy ride. However, Clark also points out that the auto market is cyclical. It has always been prone to ups and downs. So while it is difficult to say where the market is headed next, it is likely that it will eventually recover. In the meantime, Clark Howard advises consumers to be patient and do their research before buying a car. He also says that it is important to be prepared for the possibility of higher prices and longer wait times. So, what does all of this mean for you? If you're in the market for a new car, it's important to do your research and shop around. You may be able to find a good deal on a car that is a few years old, or you may want to consider buying an electric vehicle. The car market is consistently changing, so it's important to stay informed about the latest trends. As we've witnessed the twists and turns, the rise and fall, it's clear that the industry is bracing for an epic car price crash. Share your views in the comment box and don't forget to give a thumbs up. See you soon. Bye.